Yes.
You must have took my orange lighter. I can't find it.
Ma, how did I get to it?
Get ready for church. It's 10:15.
Good morning.
You hear me?
Bro, go, man. You know.
What is wrong with you?
Bro, I said I'm whatever, bro. Go, man.
Come on, take a shower.
Good choice.
Hey, Arthur. Come here a minute.
What is?
Can I ask you a favor?
Probably not.
Very funny. Would you do something with Jack? He seems kind of down. All this upheaval can't have been easy on the poor kid.
Why? Because I'm your preferred nursemaid?
Because he likes you, and, well, you know his father's useless.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, it has a video game.
Arthur.
Faster!
Bro, what the hell? That's not good.
Shit!
When I ain't on the bombers, when I ain't on the sweat, I get a trench of soap, I'm feeling like I'm dirt. Bobby got no days off, he got all of them. What the fuck just happened?
Hey there, girl.
Oh, legendary? Oh no. Oh, let's go see.
Yep. Hey there, friend. Come! Stop on by for a moment. The name's William.
What's up, Jet?
Arthur. You familiar with the study of plants, my friend?
Familiar ain't quite the word I'd use.
Well, let me tell you. This great earth beneath our feet can provide everything man ever needs. But we've only reached a tiny bit of its potential. You see, there are thousands, maybe millions of plants all across this vast country we share. The mountains, the plains, the swamps. I mean to explore them all, to know all of nature's bounty and all of her wonder, if I can.
Sure.
But I'm only one man. Would you consider helping me with gathering herbs for my studies?
Why?
Knowledge, kindness, beauty.
Well, I'm ignorant, ugly, and nasty.
Well, let's see if maybe we can do something about that.
I'll see.
I'm looking for a plant called yarrow. You can distinguish it by its red flowers. It shouldn't be too hard to find. They thrive out in the open under direct sunlight.
There it is.
Let's see how this tastes. Oh, yeah. I feel better already. They were right. This stuff does have medicinal properties. All this help, you deserve something in return. Well, this is for your horse, actually. This can cure almost all maladies to your animal, natural and otherwise. Don't ask how. Now, if you don't mind, I'll be getting back to my studies. I look forward to our next meeting, traveler.
I can see why you do this. All the best to you.
Thanks, Arthur. And to you.
So that's it? Thought I could sell them all my freaking plants that I have. I already had that, huh?
Hey, that's my horse!
I'm sorry.
No!
Oh, man, I mean to do that.
Yeah.
Palooza. Oh, it's not that bad of a horse.
Let's go. Yeah.
Wait, did he die? No way.
Let's go, girl. Yeah. Just wait a second, girl. Okay then, girl.
I won't get away.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. on now. Come here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit, that's not too bad. Gotta go. One hand on the rubber, one hand on the skirt.
Yeah, I guess I'll settle down one of these days.
I fuck everybody who ain't got money on my stallion. I don't give a fuck about a bitch, nigga. I got racks. One hand on the Bible, one hand on the skirt. I get the trenches, so I'm feeling like I'm dirt. I don't got no days off, he got all the dirt. I can't take no days off, he got all the dirt. I get the trenches, hope I'm feeling like I'm dirt. Stupid. No, I can't wear this. Maybe I can wear this. I get a trenches, hope I'm feeling like I'm dirt. I don't give a fuck about a bitch, nigga, I got racks. One hand on the wheel, one hand on the skirt. I get a trenches, hope I'm feeling like I'm dirt. One hand on the Bible, one hand on the skirt. I get a trenches, hope I'm feeling like I'm dirt. Oh shit. One hand on the wheel, one hand on the skirt. I get a trenches, hope I'm feeling like I'm dirt.
watching a master at work.
One hand on the wheel, other hand undone skirt. I get the trenches, hope I'm feeling like I'm dirt. Uda got no days off, he got all the turfs. Babo got no days off, he got all the perks. Mama means he called me with 3 pints, I took him all.
Then it hit me, I'm a lit nigga. I can't go over my fence asking for pics, niggas. Now them bottles regular. I block every nigga who ain't about that money on my cellular. Then it hit me, I'm a lit nigga.
You are watching a master at work.
One hand on the wheel, other hand undone skirt.
I get a trenches, hope I'm feeling like I'm dirt.
From the Midwest to the Northeast, that system bringing...
Hey everyone, me Kevin here. We need to talk about Zelensky,
I get the trenches, hope I'm feeling
Putin,
like
and
I'm
what Nicole
dirt.
Shanahan just said, because it is effed up and a big F you to her. I'll tell you why, because originally I actually really liked what she did with the RFK campaign, but this was a new low. I'll talk about that in just a moment. But first, let's talk about what's going on between Putin and Donald Trump. So
I
apparently
like everybody
now we are
who ain't buying
expecting
money
that
on my
in
schedule, and it hit me. I'm a lit nigga. I can't go nowhere to run that fast as a big nigga. I don't know what the words are, but that shit lit.
and Vladimir Putin. Now, they probably won't be the first there. Usually, each country will send their envoys to do their discussing. For example, in the United States, we expect Michael Waltz and Steve Wyckoff to be involved. Keith Kelly is obviously also expected to be involved. He's the retired lieutenant general who is now the envoy to the Russia-Ukraine situation. It's a special post. Obviously, it makes sense to have somebody involved in this. But there's some problems going on both sides here. First, you've got Keith Kelly suggesting that Europe will not be involved. And Zelensky is like, wait, we don't have anything on the table. This is the first time we're hearing about this too. Are we going to be involved? And apparently, the expectation is for Ukraine to be involved, but potentially for Putin and Trump to meet first, hash out a deal, or at least a framework of a deal, or should I say the concept of a deal. Anyway, Keith Kelly says they want to draft something that's not going to be a Minsk 2, like a Minsk 2 2.0. That's because that framework was complicated, it was convoluted, and there were some contradictory elements to it in terms of who would be responsible for certain things. And so while it was good in idea, its actual framework wasn't that functional for practicality, and it led to a lot of violations and problems and resentment. Anyway, so the goal is to have, obviously, some form of negotiated peace. And I would argue that, obviously, it seems like more is getting done now than has gotten done in the last, 3 years on this, since the invasion happened 3 years ago. Now, I hate to say that, because everybody thought this would be over very quickly. Well, initially, nobody thought it was actually going to happen. Then, when it happened, it's like, oh, this is going to be over quickly, and apparently not. It's still going on. Now, Keith Kelly thinks that we're going to have about a 180-day negotiating period here, and then by year end, hopefully we could actually have a full conclusion, which I imagine both sides would be very grateful not to go through another winter at war. Winters at war, especially in that Russian tundra, are not that great. And the Ukrainian territories as well, since you've got fighting going on both sides. Now, what is interesting is Keith Kelly talks about Europe being involved to a limited extent. Now, this is somewhat problematic because, obviously, Ukraine sees itself as part of Eastern Europe. 40% of Russia, after all, is in Europe. And Ukraine wants to be a potential future NATO member, but sounds like they'd be willing to sort of exclude that from the negotiations right now. Like, it seems like Zelensky is not dead set on, okay, yeah, we definitely need NATO membership, because I think he realizes that's not going to happen. Now, as far as the European Union, it's worth noting that, he in the future does see himself wanting to be part of the European Union. In fact, they were preparing to formally apply for European Union membership in 2024 to try to eventually get into the EU by about the 2030 timeframe. Now, whether or not that happens or what conditions of this deal that get worked out end up happening, we don't really know. It's entirely possible that the conditions of any kind of negotiated deal end up saying you'll never be part of the EU. I would imagine that's what Russia wants. I'm looking at some details right now over the news wires. I'm actually getting two sort of unrelated newswire topics here. Musk Doge begins firing workers at the federal IT department. And Apple aims to boost Vision Pro with AI features and spatial content. Good. There's not much going on over there. But anyway, as far as Russia, Ukraine, we've got some headlines here coming through the tape, basically. Lavrov and Rubio expressed willingness to cooperate on international issues, including this negotiation that ends up happening in Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Arabian negotiation, by the way, is expected to take place in coordination or mediation with the National Security Advisor of Saudi Arabia. This is Mohammed bin Salam. He has actually previously helped the United States negotiate with Iran. So Saudi Arabia, obviously a very oil-rich country, has been seen as a mediator in a lot of this. We've also got the Finnish president apparently now saying the United States has provided Europeans with a questionnaire on what would be possible for Ukraine. This is actually really interesting. So even though they suggest that Europe might not be part of detailed negotiations or only be involved in limited negotiations, it does sound like there's at least an effort on the behalf of the Trump administration to question or survey what European countries want to see for Ukraine. So I think this is a good thing. This is not bad. Then we have, let's see here. Zelensky says critical minerals deal proposed by the U.S. is not ready and doesn't protect us. There was this idea that potentially 50% of Ukrainian critical minerals could end up going to the United States, which Zelensky, at least in part, rejected. This is obviously part of the large wealth that exists within Ukraine. 90% of energy development that can occur in Ukraine, or energy resources that are possible in Ukraine, from natural extraction. You can build an electrical plant anywhere, just clarifying that, are in the Dnipro region, along the river. And this portion of the eastern flank has been basically the focus of this land grab by Russia. And I think that's what Russia wanted all along, is the natural resources that are there. It's very Age of Empires-esque style, kind of like, not unlike what Donald Trump wants to do with Canada and Greenland, or even Panama. This is like Age of Empires, get control of resources, right? Which I know, Americans are excited about, but obviously people of Canada aren't. This morning in our course member live stream, which we're now doing on weekends, we were talking about how 90%, no, I'm sorry, it was 80, hold on, I have this written down. Let me just look at the data. 80% of conservatives say they're not interested in being annexed by the United States. 97% of liberals are not interested in being annexed by the United States. And it looks like province bases between 82 and 94% of the various different provinces do not want to be annexed by the United States. But anyway, Zelensky has also argued that currently the most influential member in NATO is actually Vladimir Putin, which is kind of obviously a slam at the power of NATO. But remember, Zelensky's only way to survive here is by continuing to get funding from Europe and the United States. So if Donald Trump leans more pro-Russian and Zelensky isn't included in his first rounds of talks, it's entirely possible that Zelensky's just going to kind of get, like, here's the deal, sign it, otherwise the funding dries up, all right, and you don't get any security. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up getting sort of his arm twisted into a deal, and it's not a surprise to me that he's not being included in what appear to be these first rounds of negotiations with Putin. Now, a lot of Americans are actually really excited about the idea of not funding another war, and I'm absolutely for that as well. I'm a big fan of do not fund, we don't want to keep wars going. What we want to do is get to resolutions to war. That doesn't mean you want to abandon Ukraine, and I think that's a very important duality here to consider, is abandoning Ukraine is bad. Remember, Russia is willing to assassinate or to bomb Western targets. They tried assassinating the German arms dealer, one of the CEOs of a German arms manufacturing company. They've allegedly planted incendiary devices into DHL and, basically shipping packages. Are you good, man? I'm in the middle of filming. You want to say hi? You can come say hi if you want. So these incendiary devices were actually implanted and sort of embedded into massagers, and so many of them have actually blown up too early, so you've had premature detonations, or they've been caught by security. But this is part of Russia. Russia is willing to do this. Now, that's not to say the United States CIA probably wouldn't either, but something to consider about this agency that exists right now within the intelligence arm of Russia is this new intelligence arm sprouted up in 2023 after the conflict with Ukraine, which makes you wonder, is it because of the U.S. funding, or would it have happened anyway? But anyway, this unit, it's called the Special Tasks Unit. It is in the military headquarters in Russia. It's a covert group of assassins, basically. These facilities grow. So the tool here is to try to create terror and fear, not just physical fear of bombs and threats and killings, but also potentially of a social influence. We've all heard about Russian propaganda and bot farms before. I mean, the same is probably done in the United States. Like, it seems like it would be reasonable or logical, I would say, for campaigns to have a bunch of bot farms that like vote up every tweet that you make to sort of like ignite the algorithm, if you will. But anyway, I just can't help myself but think that people are oversimplifying what's going on in this conflict. For example, I think a big sort of FU is in store to somebody that actually, I had some respect for. This is Nicole Shanahan. That she worked very well, I thought, on the RFK campaign. And I'm a big fan of some of the things that RFK does. Not everything. Some of his previous skepticisms, which he's walked back, I was a little concerned about, but Make America Healthy Again. I am so excited about this, and I've made videos about this before. Bye, Jack. Love you. I'll be out shortly. But take a look at this. If you go look at this tweet, you tell me everything. Maybe you think this is great, and fine. I just think it's an oversimplistic argument, and I actually think it's like a kind of C thing to say. Very, it's low, it's unproductive, it's illogical. Well, you know what it does? It drives populism. This idea that, I'm going to say something because I know my base will like it. So I don't do that. I'm willing to say things that are unpopular because it's what I truly believe. Like, I don't look at Twitter to try to find things that are popular to say. I don't try to echo what everybody else is saying. And I think that's actually what makes this channel unique, because you get a different perspective. But this idea that Zelensky has not been invited to the U.S.-Russia meeting, and then she says it's an adults-only meeting. You know what? F you, Nicole. Absolutely F you. It is a horrible thing to say. Hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians and innocent, people, as well as Russians, have lost their lives. And to say that one half or 50% of the negotiation is not invited to their own damn negotiation, because it's disgusting and it makes you look like a vile human being. So, with that said, again, I am all for ending this so we can stop blowing money on this much money that we're spending on foreign interests, and try to refocus some of that at home. But we have to remember, there is a balance. People come to me, they're like, Kevin, we spend so much money on foreign aid. Do we? Do you know how much money we actually spend on foreign aid outside of the military, the Department of Defense, right? Because a lot of, like, this military funding is just equipment that we spend through the Department of Defense. We buy 5.56 rounds, NATO ammunition, tanks, jets, whatever, and then we kind of give away our old stock, right? So it kind of like goes into old budgets, and then we just take it out of the warehouse and ship it away. So these are billions of dollars of donations, but they're not really new money. They just kind of keep our manufacturing base going. Tanks, jets, whatever. Outside of military funding, foreign aid, we only spend about 1.5% on foreign aid. So this lie that Elon Musk says about $50 million of condoms, it also pisses me off, because Elon, it wasn't for $50 million of condoms. There are hospitals in Gaza that are saving children's lives, mothers' lives, fathers, innocent people's lives that can't survive anymore because $50 million of condom funding is cut. That's a lie. If you want to say we are going to cut off funding for children and moms delivering their kids and injured innocent civilians in Gaza, that's fine. But at least have the balls to say it. Don't cut funding for a freaking children's hospital and innocent people. Now, we can make the argument that, there are terrorists in the middle, then make that argument. But stop this lie that it was $50 million in condoms is bullcrap. Well, that may have been allocated to condoms, maybe $100,000. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying there's not waste. But let's use some logic here. Let's put our hats on that actually say, you know what? Does this really make sense? Let's dig a little bit deeper into this. And then Elon Musk is in the Oval Office going, I make mistakes too. By the way, $50 million. That's ridiculous. It's like he's trying to cover under the idea of making mistakes, knowingly share lies. And it's just things like this that lead me to start to disrespect people more. And I have so much admiration for the things that Elon does, but stop perpetuating lies. And this idea that people even engage with this stuff, it's an adults-only meeting, 50% of negotiation can't be at the table. That's dumb. Could you imagine getting divorced and the judge says, sorry, sir, this is an adults-only meeting. I will only negotiate with your wife. 50% of negotiation. What? Can't be at the table. Even vice versa, right? It doesn't matter. If it's a negotiation or a mediation, the parties of the negotiation should be involved. This is an adults-only It just seems disrespectful, and it kind of does seem like, even vice versa, if Zelensky isn't involved more, that there is a little bit of favoritism towards Russia here over Ukraine. That Ukraine is sort of like the side chick nobody cares about. And maybe you don't care. Maybe they don't care. Then say it. Have the cojones to say it. A favoritism towards Russia here over Ukraine. That Ukraine is sort of like the side chick nobody cares about.
Well, Wall Street is beginning to panic because Donald Trump is actually doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Most of Wall Street believed that there was basically no chance Donald Trump would implement stronger tariffs than what he conducted in 2018 because inflation is just too high today. And by most of Wall Street initiating large tariffs, we might actually worsen the inflation situation. Well, we kind of got exactly the opposite of what Wall Street expected. We got exactly what Donald Trump said. Now, take a look at this and you can get a sense for how Wall Street is reacting. This is a sheet from Deutsche Bank. It says, huge shock. First thoughts on the tariff announcement. The macroeconomic implications of such tariffs are likely wide-ranging and materially disruptive, especially outside of the U.S. By our estimates, the market was roughly pricing in the equivalent of a 5% universal tariff being enacted in the coming months, equivalent to about a 30 basis point hump in inflation. However, the announcement this weekend was about 3 times larger than expected. With reasonable pass-through assumptions, we expect a 1% headline inflation impact if tariffs are indeed sustained.
Then it hit me, I'm a lit nigga. I can't go nowhere without that.
As the total cumulative sum of all of the tariffs that
Not them bottles regular.
first administration.
I blocked everybody who ain't about money on my cellular.
Well, this is
And that's
exactly what we're
facts.
seeing in the market right now.
I don't give a fuck
Especially
about a
since there's
bitch,
been this,
nigga. I
quote,
got
underlying
racks. Swear to God, and I
put
made more than
embedded
6
into the
figures
S&P
off a rap.
500. But wait a minute.
Stupid.
What happens when Donald Trump is asked about the market?
One hand
and
on
he
the
says,
bill, the hand under the
people will
skirt.
understand.
I
We're
give the
doing
trenches
what we
hope I'm
need to
feeling
do
like I'm third.
to
But I don't got no
correct the
things
wrongs
off.
of
He got all the
fentanyl or the
time.
drug cartel or otherwise.
But I don't got take no
All of a sudden,
things
Donald
off.
Trump
He
is
got all
a
the
lot
purse.
weaker. What about Jerome Powell? Donald Trump is going to pressure him to lower rates, right?
One hand on the wheel, the hand under the skirt. I give the trenches hope I'm feeling like I'm dirt.
You are watching a master at work.
One hand on the wheel, other hand under the skirt. I get the trenches, hope I'm feeling like I'm dirt. Uda got no days off, he got all the turfs.
I don't got the days off, he got all the perks. Then it hit me, I'm a lit nigga. Not them bottles regular. I blocked everybody who ain't about money on my cellular. I don't give a fuck about a bitch, nigga. I got rags. One hand on the wheel, the hand on the skirt. I get the trenches, hope I'm feeling like I'm third. I like that shit. Stupid.
You turned up my burnt up nigga diss on the game, nigga get his dumb ass something up. Free fames, nigga, free 3.
Oh wait, no. Damn. I realized something. We can't play a lot of shit. Relax. Alright, chat. I might have to call this one an end. Unless, because I might have to come back here later. I ain't gotta go to church. If you scared, go to church. If you scared, go to church. So I'm running to the church. I need God. Man, man, chat. What's going on with y'all brothers, man? We're still on the Red Denver. The Red Dead. Marathon. One hand on the wheel, the hand on the skirt. I get a trenches up, I'm feeling like I'm dirt. I don't give a fuck about a bitch, nigga. Alright.
Out of the damn way.
Now them bottles regular.
Well, at least it ain't your job.
Shut up, Arthur.
Yeah, your job's starting the fights. It ain't winning them.
I can scrap, Arthur. I'm just not good at homework.
I can see.
Besides, what do you care, Englishman? You've got no time for me. I tried to find you work, but then you're off cutting jobs with other folks, and your boy Sean doesn't get a look in.
Guess I don't want to get shot, that's all.
You're a real fucking funny shit, Arthur Morgan, huh? Real fucking funny.
Calm down.
You better sleep with your eyes open.
Yeah, well, you're gonna sleep with your chest open if you ain't careful, boy.
I love you, Arthur Morgan. I love you. Come on, take a shot. Come on, take your best shot, please, huh?
Grow up.
And let me come on the raid with yous.
Raid?
Don't be playing coy with me, son. It's unbecoming. That bloody train you and him has set up. What you're doing out here, you're going to need guns, you're going to need men.
Oh, that. So Marston told you? It ain't a big show. I need calmness. If I take you, I might as well bring Micah along.
Now compare me to that oily turd again. You're a dead man.
Fair enough.
Anyway, Arthur, what's your problem with me? In fact, don't tell me. I already know. You're threatened by me.
Threatened by you?
Yeah, my youthful vigor. It intimidates you.
Does it?
It's a story as old as the hills. The changing of the guard, the fading of the light. You're toast, old man.
Okay. And what are you?
I'm the future, in all its glory.
Yeah, well, good luck. Good luck and shut up. I want to get some rest before nightfall. Wake up, you lazy son.
What are you doing here, kid? I'm coming, John. On the job.
I said you weren't coming.
Yeah, well, Arthur says I am. And it's his party, boy, so come on, let's go. Me and the big cheeses. Love it. Can't wait to slit some bastard's throat.
You sure about this?
No. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Please don't tell me you're ready.
All right, then. It's on. Charles?
I'm ready.
Dang it. Alright, y'all, I'll be back. I knew this was gonna happen.
Gentlemen, let's go earn some money. Hey.
That's what I'm gonna have to do. And whatever comes after that, we're gonna have to take that out.